So can you still see my screen? And what can you see? You see my screen sharing is
Can see the folder with the files in
you
it.
can see just the folder.
The folder with the files in it, yes.
Okay, so it's still showing that my screen sharing is paused. Let's see. What's the problem? My screen sharing is paused. Um, okay, so can you see my screen back now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and what is it you're saying?
Why did you leave your last job?
Okay, good.
How to answer behavioral interview questions.
Okay, good, good, good. So for you in your own situation and circumstance, one of the key things you should be focusing seriously on is how do you justify and make a case for leaving your last job? Now, employers are trying to get another employee to come and resume with them. However, there are a lot of skepticism that they
Okay.
want to ensure that they are not making any mistake.
Okay.
So for you to be able to secure another employment, you must do a great job and a good job in answering this question
Mm.
because the organization um, somehow have given you a letter of termination of employment.
Yes.
Aha. Now, because there's a letter of termination of employment and that organization is still existing, isn't it?
Mm.
Aha.
Yes.
So you must be able in any particular interview ensure that you are answering this question in a very objective way that will make somebody believe that, okay, yeah, you are qualified for the role and that they don't have any question or any doubt that you were sacked because of your own doing, that it
Okay.
was what you did that led to that loss of employment. And that is the reason why you must be able to have good and concrete answer when you are asked this question in an interview. And like I do for most of the interview questions we have treated, is that when they ask you a question, don't just go straight to that question. Sandwich your answer. In this framework you are seeing, RRSFD, the critical thing, the critical point you want to focus on is on the fit, is on the F. However, you don't just want to say on the F because if you have 1,000 interviews, somebody is interviewing, they want to replace a structural engineer, and there are about 1,000 applicants to be interviewed. All of them might be saying the same thing. But you must be able to make yourself different by your response, by what you say and how you say it and how you present yourself. In an interview, you want to demonstrate that you want to stand out. You want to stand out in the interview. You want to be that you are the the best thing after sliced bread. That the
Okay.
employer, they will say, wow, we've never seen a person like this. That's what you want to do in the
Okay.
interview. And to do that, my own argument is that in answering this question, you don't just talk about why you left the last job. You need to situate that, you need to frame that answer by talking about the reasons, your response, your skill, and how your skill and everything you are bringing fit this new organization, and how you have been able to successfully add value to your previous organization.
Okay.
Now, let me put you on the spot. Can you please answer this question? So, Mr. Duty, thank you for interviewing for
Yes, sir.
this role. Why did you leave your last job?
Um, so thank you for the question. I think as I already probably mentioned, there was a bit of a restructuring, but alongside that, there was should I say a bit of a mismatch in my strengths and should I say the tasks that I was given as a day-to-day. So during the midst of the restructuring, there was, should I say, a little more leverage uh, to like, make it a formal process.
So, is that your response? Is that
That
your
was my
final answer?
yeah, that was my first reason. That was my first reason of leaving. And then I'm also looking to, take on more technical responsibility given that I'm near charter status, but those opportunities as I tried applying multiple times in my last role were not present within the company.
Is that your final answer? Like they do in the Who Want to Be a Millionaire? Now, you
Yeah, okay,
try.
okay. Do I answer all of them? Because that was only the reason, right?
Well,
I'm not
you're
sure.
supposed to, I said sandwich. Don't worry. I did that
Okay,
for a reason.
okay,
I did that for a reason. I put you on the spot for a reason. To say, do that small mock interview for you, because I would, if I just use this framework to answer, you will
yes,
not get it.
okay,
But now you've answered, and whatever I say as example will sit well with you, and you will remember it, that
okay,
you did not answer the question in a way that is make that. See, whatever you are saying in the interview, the people should be so excited. But what you said today, the
okay,
first word that came out of your mind put a
okay,
question mark in my mind about you. Put a question mark about you. And in my head, I'm thinking, even when you brought in the issue of the mismatch, you brought in the mismatch in a way it's deficient. It was you said you could not deliver the task you were given. So it means you are incompetent. That's what you're telling me. But that's not
No,
how.
I'm not saying I'm incompetent. I'm
Ah.
saying
No,
I'm
no, no,
saying
no,
when
no.
when
See,
presented with
see.
the right task that fit my
Hold
strengths,
on,
it would have been
hold
better.
on, hold on. You are in the UK. You've been in the UK now for 2 years. The way people understand things in the UK is different.
Okay,
You didn't say incompetent. You said mismatch, which is good because it's not one of the things I put down there. But the way it came across to me, that's what I heard. And that is the way the person who is interviewing you will be making a judgment of what you are saying. It's for, in the UK, you need to be very circumspect of when you are, I know you've been here for a while, but the choice of words and the way it's conveyed in the UK and here is always, you just need to be careful. You mentioned there's a mismatch between the daily task, there was a restructuring, there was a mismatch in the daily task given to you and your deliverable. That was what you said, isn't it?
okay. Do you mind if I give it
No, but it's
like another
correct or
try?
not, that was what you said.
Yeah, okay. That was what I started with, and that was leverage
Uh-huh.
towards
But
that was give them leverage
now,
towards
you see, when
during the
you're now
restructuring.
bringing leveraging, see, the leveraging does not flow again. The person at that point, and that's the way it happened to me, I've already shut off. I'm not listening
Okay,
to anything after leveraging.
okay,
So your duty and your task is every word that come out of your mouth must not put you in a negative light at all. At
Okay.
all.
Okay.
So you put you put the best foot forward. And that's the reason why I talk about this framework. That's the reason why this framework works. The essence of the framework, the RRSFD, is to put it in a positive light and to ensure that you are not, whatever you are saying is not seen as a sour taste in the mouth of the people interviewing you.
Okay.
So let me now give you a sample, if at least for you to be able to understand what I'm saying. And because it is RRSFD, like you see there, the last box there, it does not mean that you're going to spend the whole day talking about it.
Okay.
Under 5 minutes, if not 5 minutes, but as short, snappy as possible. So you see, under response, these are reasons why people leave their job. Under reasons, under response, you want to talk about your own impact, the reason, and not negatively talking about your previous employer. Under skills, what skills do you have that make you qualify for this role that we are applying for? You need to bring that to the board. Then fit. You need to show how that skill makes you fit this new company culture, this team culture, and of course, your personality. Your personality, in dealing with you, and I've listened to you for a while, I could see that your personality you are very reserved, very conservative in your
Yes, sir.
worldview and the way you present yourself. Correct or not?
Yes, sir.
Aha. So because of that, you then need to be more circumspect because your conveyance of what you are saying might not come with passion, with enthusiasm, which is needed.
Okay.
Because for you interview for this role with my company, I must get that you are passionate. You can just not wait to start the job. You're just waiting. You're just waiting to say, I can't just wait to start working with you and deliver. Then that's the last one. They demonstrate to talk about what did you deliver in your previous role? What are the things you did in your previous role? You were with them for 18 months, correct? So in 18 months, what were your deliverables? And those deliverables, of course, if in an interview scenario, this question will be sandwiched between other questions. You would have answered other questions. But I keep saying that you must spoon feed the interviewers. Don't assume that they have my CV. It is your duty to be impressing on them the reason that you are the best candidate. So let me try and use this framework to answer this question, and then you can now assess me if I've done a good job of impressing
Okay.
you of why I took. Okay. Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Adeoti, for interviewing me, giving me the opportunity to come for this particular role. You know, as a structural engineer with depth and years of experience, having worked, internationally in Nigeria and also in the UK, it's quite, you do things daily, and after a while, you begin to look for, new experience, and that's more of the reason why I applied, and I'm almost at the tail end of becoming a chartered structural engineer, which is critical in the industry. But at a particular point, there was a restructuring in the organization, and that restructuring brought about new changes to the way things are done. And as a result of that, there was a mismatch between the expectation of the new structure, the new line management, and what I was doing. My strengths were not being harnessed. My strengths were not being utilized. I was seeing that I was not being given challenging tasks, and as a result of that, I could begin to see that there was a rumbling in the organization. However, in my time in that particular organization, I gave it all my best. I was able to be able to do advance the corporate objective. Don't forget, like I mentioned in my previous questions or my previous answers to you, as a skilled corporate structural engineer, structured, with having skills of problem solving, critical analysis, and as a chartered engineer to be very soon, I've done my exams. I believe strongly that with my capacity, I'll be able to fit the company culture here in your organization. I believe strongly that I'll be able to fit into a team because I was a perfect for my previous organization. And I believe also my personality, which is very circumspect, very forward thinking, innovative, and future thinking, I'll be able to bring that to bear to ensure that your organization, particularly the need of why this particular role is created, is met. And I dare conclude to say that in my previous role, 18 months, I was with the company, I was able to use my skill set to improve processes, structural processes in the organization. Previously, before I joined the organization, the process of getting, from design to completion of drawings took quite a long, more than a month. But as I joined the organization, I brought my skills to bear and I was able to reduce and shorten that period from a month to 3 weeks. And that was actually very important because it made sure that our jobs are quickly done. Aside that, based on policies and changes that I brought into my team, and it helped us to save huge costs, which the organization was missing. Before I joined them, the costs were almost in the excess of 1% of every contract that we had. By joining them, I was able to halve that to half percent of every contract we earned. So that was significant amount of money. And that was the value I delivered to my previous employer. I am very confident. I am very confident, absolutely confident. And like I mentioned earlier, a soon-to-be chartered engineer, I'm going to be able to bring all this value to your organization to ensure that the corporate objective of your Adeoti and Sons Limited is advanced. Thank you very much. I hope I've answered your question. Thank you. So, Mr. Adeoti and Sons Limited. So, how would you assess my response?
Yeah, I'll say that was very, very, very detailed, a very detailed response. I think you gave a background story, a bit of background
That's
story, and you also tied in your experience at your previous role, using it to answer the question. I'm not just going like directly, but you also tied in your previous experience, and you also brought in how that previous experience can also be used to demonstrate how we can drive the new organization forward.
excellent.
Then I
So,
think you
that
also
is what.
leveraged.
Come again?
Okay, sorry, that's fine.
You're saying leverage, so continue.
Okay. I think you also, I think, leverage like the fact that you're approaching sort of status as well, and that
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah,
uh,
yeah. So, that is how you're supposed to respond. Your chartership is not yet.
yes,
However, it's a value because you spent 18 months preparing for it.
yeah,
And that stands you out also in the industry. Not every structural engineer is shattered,
mm,
correct or not?
yeah,
So whatever, you bring all this to bear to ensure you could see. I said what you said when it comes to mismatch, but not in the way you said it.
okay, yes, I think,
I said what you said,
mm,
but not in the way you said it. I agreed and I said there was a mismatch, but I faulted the manager, not me.
yes,
I said there was a mismatch between my strengths and my skill set, but the new management could not harness
mm,
and utilize my skill to continue to deliver corporate objectives.
yes,
And that's what you need to ensure, that your response and everything coming out of your mouth does not put you in a negative light.
okay, okay,
Even if, like now, you have a letter of termination of employment, But the way I've responded, an employer would say, whoa, this is a great guy. Ah, wow. And he saved costs for the company. He improved process for the company. Oh, so, well, yeah, so their loss is our gain. That's where they will see it, isn't it?
Yes.
They will say, oh, you could see he improved processes. And if you respond with this framework, you will stand out in the mind. Even if they have 1,000, your response will stand out in the mind of the interviewees and interviewer.
Yeah.
So because you want to stand out. Oftentimes in an interview, those people that they remember is the first person they interviewed and the last person they interviewed.
Mm.
But if you are sandwiched in the middle, they might have forgotten all the things that were said. But if you respond in this kind of a way, the employer or the interviewer will know, oh, that's a candidate we want. And like I said in every interview, you always must don't spoon feed them. Show the value you can bring to the organization. That if you give me the opportunity, the way I have done it in that company, I'm going to do the same thing for you in your present company. I'm going to ensure that your corporate objective is met with my skill set, with what I did in my previous organization. So on that note, I hope today has been valuable and
very.
apologies. Ma?
I said it has been. No, thank you very much.
So we on that note.
I hope you recorded it or you didn't record it at all. Yeah.
I recorded now. Today I recorded, not like other days when I forget.
Anyway, I hope you have been blessed.
Yes, man. Yes, man. It was very
So
helpful.
go out and do